There's mine is. Man, that thing's retarded. I love that saw. Such a fun saw. I was trying to see if I was going to need to adjust the jets any. It is a little bit chilly out for Texas anyway. And it did start really hard. I had to pull it 2 or 3 times with the choke on before I got it to pop. Good news, I got a new tank coming. This one is a Farmer Tech. I have a new OEM one coming though. That's the only non-OEM part on the saw. I also have a new crankcase half coming. This crankcase half that I had to Bondo a little bit. I was supposed to sand it down smooth and then get some of the steel paint and repaint it before I built the saw, but you guys see I'm a procrastinator. That didn't happen. So now I just got oily Bondo all over that. It's all good. It doesn't really matter that much. What I really wanted to talk to you guys about today is it's grinding day. I have a used piston and cylinder that I'll be doing, and then I have a new piston and cylinder that I will start grinding. This one is for my boss's build. This is the only thing I use a gasket for, guys. I use a gasket to mark my cylinder to what I need to grind, and you can see there's not a lot of grinding on the lower transfers. You just have to make that cylinder match that gasket, because the block of a 200T, 200Ts actually have different transfers, so the block is not the same. Let me set this out. Oh, I already got my gasket caught on there. Okay, we'll set the piston out. My build I only used one ring for. Shane's build I'm probably gonna do 2. Oh, they do have a new bearing in there. I didn't know it came with a new bearing. You guys can see these are actually the same cylinder. Let's see if we can get a shot down in there. Same transfer. Just one of them is a little dirtier. It's all good. We'll clean it up before we build it. This one is probably going to be for my friend Seymour Saws. So on YouTube. I offered to build him one with the new cylinder and piston, and he has not gotten back to me, so I'm assuming that's new piston and cylinder. These are $200 each is what I paid, so $215 I think. So I understand, you know, they're not affordable saws, so I'm gonna do my best to build him a used one. The 2 things that have to be new: I won't reuse bearings, and I won't reuse rings. I mean, it'd be dumb to try and put used rings in there. I do have a couple cranks here, but if I do, this is the only one I would use, or maybe it's this one. One of them wasn't heated up as much. Oh, I think it's that one. So I'll pick which one is the least damaged. This is my used case. This side is 024 or 020T, and so it takes the screw-in caps, not the quarter turn. But it also has different lower transfers, so I'd have to open this case up to match that case, or she would not flow right. I also have this. It is Farmer Tech, but it's brand new. So I'm actually going to let him decide. Does he want it to have have matching caps, or have a new case? And there's my 020 fuel tank. That's cool. It's got a very minimal tank vent. It doesn't have the whole hose and everything for it. And then of course this could be put on either one. I think this is for a 200, not a 200T. or a 020, not a 020T. But that's all good because it mounts on there and starts the engine for us. So we'll see. Yeah, that one's got a lot of blue in it. And I actually have two pistons as well, but this is the 020T piston, and it's actually a little bit different. So it might be the 200T piston. The transfers, the crown is thicker. These windows are not open as much, so I guess I could just open those windows up to match the other one. This is just a much better, this is the piston I'm used to working with, I think. So it's probably the 020T one. Nope. Yep, there it is. That's a 200T piston. I bought a couple part saws when I first started this project. That's why I have some extra parts. But all the top handle buttons and stuff. So it's grinding day again. Starting again. And I'm definitely gonna run this piston. Oh, shit, it is a lot more scored up and worn on. Yeah, guess we'll use this piston. We'll use the same one I'm used to. I wonder if I should get a 200T piston for mine. Seems like it would be better since it has wider open windows. Alright, well, go ahead and explain a little bit of what I do. Okay, down in behind there, I don't know if you guys can make it out. Let's see how close I can get. Oh, it's in the shade of my phone. There we go. Down in there, okay, you're going to have to grind some of that out. You can see how that window goes straight through. Well, I'm going to grind it so it matches this piston over here, and it actually opens up a lot more on the inside so it can push more air through there. But yeah, that's where we're at. I wonder if I still have the 020 side. Man, that sucks too. Tin Man says not to use them if the paint's coming loose or the powder coat's coming loose in there. And I've got new bearings coming, and they're not Farmer Tech, so I'll probably use this case and just put OEM bearings in it. Probably even push their seals out. Put different seals. I'll probably put OEM seals in it. But so that's where I'm at. I get to make 2 more of these today, and you know, just the porting part. Each of them are going to be responsible for building out their own saw. Shane already has a tank, so he's going to need the top handle, starter, and the clutch cover, bar and chain. Whereas Seymour saws will have tank and starter. And if he wants to go with this one, the Farmer Tech case, I'll probably give him my tank. It's the right cap, because I have a new OEM tank coming for mine. So mine is getting ready to truly be all OEM. It will still have a used flywheel crankcase, the flywheel side, but the one I got is not missing any paint. Show you guys what I used to port too. I got this at the flea market, mostly complete, and it works good. The one grinder that I use most, where is it? This is a newer one I just bought. I have an older one that's more straight that I use for most of my grinding. And then of course you go to these little sanding discs for basically, I guess, the polishing of the exhaust. I need to get some finer drums for those. There was a guy that he had 600 grit drums for that small one. So I gotta find where those are from. This is just one of the little white fat polishing discs. That's what's left of it. I wear through those pretty quickly. There's an old one. That one's the funniest. But anyhow, I don't use a Dremel. I use this air one. It works really good. My compressor sucks and I don't have any moisture removal to really speak of, so it does sound funny when it's running. There's my bit. This is my burr that I've been using. This is what's ported the 026 and the 020, so it's a pretty good little burr. It's starting to get a little galled up. We'll have to clean it on this stone a little or something. I may just take my pick and get down in there and get out what's gummed up in there. That's all galling is just gumming up of metal. So, but alrighty guys, I guess we'll probably do a little more filming when we start actual porting. I need to take these rings off though and put them in that little bag. And on my saw I only used one ring, but like I said, for these two it's going to be owner's choice. Shane has a used 200T case. Both sides are 200T, and he's got a Farmer Tech tank as well. So I still want him to press his open and let me put new bearings on it. These bearings are kind of cool if you ask me. They don't have an inner race. They ride right on the crankshaft. Man, that thing's gooey. Got a lot of oil in there. But I've always thought that was cool, you know. It's a very simple bearing. And that's why these things can achieve such high RPMs, I feel. It's the bearing doesn't have as much resistance. It's rolling right on the crank like that. So, alrighty guys. Well, that's about it for today. Let me get this guy turned around and get you a better view of the first. Guess we'll call it the older brother.